everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'd like to call our regular meeting of our Town Plan and Zoning Commission to order. Today is Monday, April 1st, 2024 at 6:35-ish p.m. Hi everyone, my name is Rob Klee. I'm the chair of our Woodbridge Plan and Zoning Commission. Other members with us here tonight are Ben Cherry, Andrew Skolnick, and Aaron Hoffman. We may have another member or two join later as we are in process. As always, nice to see you, Chris Sullivan, our town land use analyst and zoning enforcement officer. Tonight's agenda was posted on the town website. We do not have any new business tonight, so we can actually move directly to our work session, which was outlined in the agenda, which for today's purposes, let's save our zoning regulation update till the end of our work session, though our goal, Chris, our goal is to try to tackle...
Finish it tonight, yeah?
We're going to finish it tonight. I think we can, and I think we can do that actually with a reasonable amount of time as well.
Do we have some minutes to approve?
We do at the end. I think you all should have copies of them as well. I did want to note that Kathy Hunter apologizes that she couldn't be here today with us. She's recovering, but had a brief report of the Housing Committee, which I'm happy to read into the record. And then Andrew, I'll pass it to you after that for any update from SCROG. And then Chris, you'll give our zoning update. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, so from Kathy Hunter, the Housing Committee report for April 1st, 2024. Kathy reports that at the last Housing Committee meeting on March 6th, they were joined by Ben Lovejoy, who's now working with the Connecticut Department of Housing to help towns implement their affordable housing plan. Ben Lovejoy's goal is to meet with willing towns across the state to identify common themes and barriers to promote housing and effectively deploy resources. The Housing Committee presented a detailed report covering the work performed since its initial charge from September 2022. If anyone's interested in hearing this oral report, there is a YouTube video of the Board of Selectmen meeting from March 13th, 2024. Also, Kathy notes that the Housing Committee will be participating in Woodbridge's Earth Day celebration on April 27th that has been planned by the town's Sustainability Committee. The Housing Committee's presentation will feature two major categories that are part of the Sustainable Connecticut Framework. That includes healthy, efficient, and diverse housing, and it includes effective, compassionate homelessness prevention. Sustainable CT is a collaborative, innovative, inclusive state effort that works to create communities where all are welcome and have the opportunity to thrive. Kathy notes that the next Housing Committee meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. Andrew, anything from SCROG that you'd like to report?
Just that there was a meeting on March 14th that I attended via video. All meetings going forward are going to be video. So there were 5 action items from the City of Milford, Town of Orange, Town of Madison, Town of North Branford, Town of Guilford, and Town of East Haven, all relating to proposed zoning amendments with respect to daycare homes and group daycare homes in Milford, with respect to signs in certain districts in Orange, with respect to daycare centers as well in the town of Madison and in the town of North Branford, Guilford, childcare, and East Haven, accessory dwelling units, none of which were found to have negative intermunicipal impacts. There'll be another meeting this coming Thursday.
Thank you, Andrew. Right. Chris, I don't know if you want to both give us an update as the zoning enforcement officer and perhaps also an update regarding our town plan of conservation and development and the sort of status of contracting and potential next steps.
Okay, why don't we do the update on the town plan? So at your special meeting, you had voted to recommend to the Board of Selectmen that they engage. They accordingly did vote to do that. There's been a contract review on both behalf of the town as well as SLR. Everybody's in agreement in the form of that contract now. And so now it's just a matter of rounding up the appropriate signatures. I'm going to meet with the first selectman and Tony Genovese tomorrow just to make sure I know what's happening in that respect. So I would anticipate that once that gets signed, that one of the first orders that they had was to do a meeting with you to go over again exactly how they would be proceeding. So to get this thing rolling, there may or may not be a need to have a special meeting sometime later this month. Although at this point, I don't know of anything coming in for your regular meeting in May. So if they can hold off till May and start on other components that they would be doing, maybe we'll just push it to your May meeting. We'll check with there and I'll keep you in an email loop on that. Zoning enforcement wise, there's not too much, except that there's been a lot of activity about 240 Amity Road, which is for sale. This is the site where there's the trailer business, which is relocating to Bethany. So there's been a number of calls coming in, ranging from being another dealership to another gas station, convenience store, although I did mention that we did have a gas station and convenience store, which was going to go in like two down. Today there was another one that was interested in either a restaurant or a some kind of facility for children. So it's interesting. Nobody's firmly committed yet that I know of, but it's just interesting to see what's out there in the mix. But there's a lot of activity, and that's about it.
So, Chris, before we dive into the big book and our update, did you want to just highlight the correspondence received?
So today, Rosalie Rowland, who lives on Luciani Street, dropped off a letter and some pictures, and so I made copies of those for you. She had called last week. She was concerned about the noise. Obviously, the hammering is continuing, and it's not nice to listen to and whatnot. I did make contact with the permit holder, and it is his belief, because that permit does expire at the beginning of May, that he will be completing everything by the end of this month. So the good news is hopefully it will be, and then we'll be just in the phase of doing normal house construction. He's also filed a map creating the two lots back again, because at one point they were merged into one. I did double check with town council, and that's considered a first split, since this was subdivided long before the original subdivision regs came into place. So there was no action that was required by you to reconstitute those two lot conforming sizes again. And it was interesting because he did come in with a plan for 110 Luciani, and it incorporates an ADU. So
On both lots?
I've only seen the house plan for the first one, but it sounded like he would be doing one on each, each house that he constructed would have an ADU as part of it. So that's all I got.
There's reference in here to the geotechnical pieces.
Part of your permit said that periodically there was supposed to be a geotechnical review, but it wasn't anything that was in your permit mandatory to be submitted to us. So I can contact him to see if that's been done, just to make sure, because it is a fairly sheer cut in the back. But when I've been out there to look at it, it doesn't seem to be moving much. But I will contact him and ask if that requirement has been met.
Great. Any other questions for Chris?
What kind of oversight or supervisory role? I mean, I see the requests in, Ms. Rowland's letter. Is there actually a role for someone from TP&Z to check on the site as she requests?
We can only check to see if there are erosion controls. You know, I'm not a surveyor, I'm not an engineer, so I can't check the slopes and all that. There was no requirement in the permit that was issued to say that at the end of work that there had to be the submission of an as-built to show that the slopes that were originally approved were indeed achieved. But as part of the as-built, for what the house construction, you know, that can be something that gets added in. But to actually construct a house, they need to have been able to pull it back that far.
And what town entity could comment on or enforce the 8 AM start time?
As I mentioned to Mrs. Rowland, that's, the noise ordinance is under the jurisdiction of the police department. The original start time under the noise ordinance is 7, but when you approved your permit, you changed the hour to be later and to be 8. And when she had mentioned this one other time, he had stopped work for a period of months between December and like February. And so I reminded him that his start time was no sooner than 8. So, and after that, I hadn't heard anything that he had.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? And we do have our 2 sets of minutes. Should we get those
You might
out?
as well get them out of the way.
Should we get them out of the way now? I'll start with the minutes for the regular meeting of March 4th, 2024, and I'll move for their approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? I think there was a typo for Steve Monroe.
Yeah, I had to redo his name.
Any other typos, edits? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? So the March 4th, 2024 minutes are approved. Is it okay, even though I wasn't there, can I move?
Sure.
I'll move for approval of the March 11th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, edits, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I will abstain. There was no there. All right. Okay, 6:45-ish. We're now moving to section 6. Is that where
Section 6.
we left off? And our goal is to get to the end.
Oh, we will get to the end.
Terrific.
Aye. 7:30.
I am hopeful that that is the case. So I'll give everyone have their copies available.
Yeah.
And I guess the question is, I know I'm starting, so in the one with the red notes and comments, it is PDF page 188 and actual page number on the document 184. Does anyone know when the first sort of comment edit comes in that we need to look at?
187, it looks like.
Thank you. So this is in our section on special exceptions. Subsection H. There's a note about case law, and actually 2 notes about case law. That we may set time limits on the permit and or require periodic renewal of a permit without a public hearing. Oh, or it's about special permits field on the land records. I'm not sure I know what that means. It does always take a minute or two to get our heads back into this document after we leave it for a month or more, as the case may be.
Is this something you would like me to just forward this page to
Yes.
town council?
Yeah,
and
I think
have
that's a
him
great
review
idea.
it?
I think that's for both of the notes on page 187.
Yes.
Scrolling down,
Number 191.
page 191.
You know what? I'm looking at this, and we did comment. I think we got up to 193.
No,
Yeah, because I have the note crossed off on 191. And on 192, we took out the words character in item 9.
we may have, like, sometimes we skipped ahead a little
Oh,
just
okay.
because
Okay.
there was like a cross-reference or something, 'cause I don't remember.
All right, so I have a cross-reference on 191 that just gets rid of the note, the red note that's there, to leave it in place, I guess, here.
Yeah, I'm fine leaving this in place.
Yeah, I don't even understand the question or the suggestion.
And then on 192, in item 9, there's a reference to character,
Which we are deleting or
Which
trying
we're
to delete.
deleting.
We're
consistently.
great about
both in
sniffing
the
out
text
character.
and in
Oh,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
heading.
Doesn't stand a chance with us.
Okay, so in the heading and in the text of that item number 9 will be in general harmony with the surrounding neighborhood. Is that okay with everyone?
Looks like we got there on March 4th somehow, but yes.
No,
Yeah,
we did.
we did get there on March 4th somehow.
Page 193, there's a highlight of all site work shall be completed no later than 5 years from the date of approval of the original plan. Is that highlighted in the original?
It's in the original. In-
Is there a problem with that statement?
I can double check the statutory references. Periodically, they've extended, expiration dates, but typically it was in response to when, there was the, economic downturn in 2008, and then because of COVID, they
Yeah.
gave an extension again, so I'll just double check on the timeframes.
Okay. Then I'm moving down
196.
96. It says there's an inconsistent numbering hierarchy.
MNOP. LMNOP. Looks like it's in alphabetical order to me.
Oh, it may be that the A, the B, and the
Yeah.
C should be,
1s, 2s, and 3s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have the case of a part 2 N A.
Yeah.
Yeah, N1, N2, N3.
Okay, Jim, are they
Just,
little ones? Like Roman?
yeah, the
I?
little Roman numeral.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Is this a reference? This may be a reference. Can we just check table 4.1?
Oh, yeah, does table 4.1 exist anymore?
Yeah, that's the table of general bulk regulations. That's a big table.
And does that table have A, B, C? Because I think, you know, table.
It has, yeah.
I don't see A, B's, and C's.
There's
I
no
think what they're
notation.
saying is that they want you to, on the plan, have a table that has those columns to compare what's required if there's a structure there, what the existing dimensions are, and then what's proposed if there's a new addition or a new structure or something, which is typically shown on there.
Okay. So table 4.1 still exists. And
It
this is
exists, it does not have A, B's, or C's, so I think changing these to
Yeah, no,
little
it's
ones.
not,
are
it's
good.
not listed in table
Yeah.
4.1 as A, Bs, or Cs. I think the
Sounds great.
tabular column is supposed to have those three columns.
Okay, so changing it to little Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, in both
In
cases
both.
here.
And in P.
Yep.
I think actually,
Could you have been overestimating?
We can spend another 34
no,
minutes.
I'm not sure whether it's Roman numeral or just the
Or Arabic numerals?
Arabic numeral.
It's the little lowercase letters.
Are there other examples in the?
Yeah. I'll double check.
Yeah, this page 95 has a table for A, for B, and that's Roman numerals.
Okay.
So it's 94.
Yeah. A, B, C. Little.
Although that's broken out in subs instead of.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters.
Okay. So whatever's our consistent,
I will be
you'll
consistent.
be consistent.
Okay.
Andrew, I was thinking we were almost like done, although I'm not seeing,
A 203.
Although that note just said, I didn't review this section.
so this, section 11 is the flood hazard reduction provisions.
And we don't
Chris?
touch that,
We're not
because
touching
that's by FEMA. So they tell us what to do in there, and then once we do it, we send it to them to have them double check to make sure we did it right. And then they tell us we did it right.
And is this version the as
This is the
updated
most
as-
recent update because it references to the most recent FEMA mapping.
Great, so we can skip right through section 11.
And now we're on appendices.
Ah, the village district.
But I'll revise my prediction to
Yeah, you can't
15.
revise it, we were wagering over under on your.
And that's it.
There are highlights on page 230, 228, the very last page.
I don't know what those.
Oh, it's the.
Oh, it should be
It should be 2021.
Yeah.
And, glad we caught that one. Holy cow.
So we're all the way on page 228, the very last page of the document. Those highlighted dates of December 7th should be 2021.
What?
Well, December
Chris, Jan-
7th should be 2020 and January
January
4th should be 2021.
Oh, thank you.
Done.
Okay, what are our next steps? Well, first of all, congratulations, everyone, well done. Thank you for this
So I'll
endeavor.
finish this and then I guess I'll send it out to you. Not that I'm expecting you to, but you can see if there's anything glaring, you know, when you look at it. And then we would go to hearing with it.
And so it would be, we would have to.
We have to ship it off. Well, I don't know. Let me double check with council. I think this is big enough that it has to go to hearing. It's not, this isn't Scribner error where we can just do it. So it needs a hearing. I gotta send it off to Council of Governments and also Valley Council of Governments because it affects both things. And then we can kind of put this to bed for the moment and work on your town plan, because your town plan will probably have other things that will have you change.
Yep.
And there's no point. Substantive
This
stuff.
was to try to get it into a form and a structure that
Right.
is more
And-
usable.
And also have it in one document, because we didn't have it in one.
Okay.
So,
And so timing wise, next meeting, we would announce a public hearing?
yeah, next meeting you would announce a public hearing. I'll double check what the calendar shows, because it always is well, I'll check when the Council of Governments meeting is, because we need enough lag time for them to be able to comment on it. And then we'll go from there.
Great.
So that'll be a May meeting, so.
Do you distribute like a red line copy to show the changes, or do we let people just?
I haven't been, I'm trying to remember how I've been
Discover
doing
there.
this. I'll double check to see. Yeah, I've got to go back and
Yeah.
see how I've been doing. I think I've been doing, I mean, it's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
And then it's done.
Good.
And then it fortunately won't be overlapping with the bulk of the work that you would be doing on the town plan, such as having your public meetings and whatnot when you want to meet with them and whatnot, so, we'll go from there.
Okay.
But this is a huge step. Thank you for spending all this time. It's been a long haul.
Whatever happened with the caterer that was going to move into Wheelers?
The one that you issued a permit for
Yeah.
apparently walked away from it. Don't know why. And we've had some other people that have been interested in moving in, but they've never gone forward. So,
How's the facility, the building, is it?
I haven't been inside. So, I mean, we've got the two big spaces that are there, where the former UPS store was and where Wheelers was.
And as to the Bradley Road Toll Brothers development, have any COs been issued yet?
There's been COs issued, and we had our first purchase done.
Yeah, I walked through there the other day, and there's a sign that shows that a number of lots have been sold, whether
Yeah.
it's actually gone through, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
They plan on crossing the street?
Soon?
They're saying they anticipate having this side finished by fall, and then they would be beginning the other side. So, the first unit that they sold for much more than what they originally had anticipated or told you that it would. So we'll see what happens. We haven't done the C of O on the community house yet.
Is that in the middle of it?
It's right on the road frontage on Bradley on the south side. So kind of in the middle, but next to the road. And so far, we've had one resident in the area who's been concerned that the buildings are above the fence, but it's
Well,
a
that's-
residential building.
Yeah.
And, they did, the plantings that they did were, for plantings, they were very tall and should grow fairly quickly and whatnot. But it is a residence next to residences, so.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded, and all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, any abstentions? Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right.